Hello, TikTok. I'm back for yet another update on my carnivore diet. And I just want to show you what I have for breakfast.
Oh yeah, breakfast of champions. We got that slither thin steak. You can buy steakums or you can buy just the cut thin steak. Made up with eggs, salt, pepper, garlic, and 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce.
And it was so good, y'all. It is so good. But eating like this every single meal will melt the fat from you. And if you get weak, you do it again. I'm learning about priming. Priming is so important. When you're like me, we are severely obese and we did not get here for nothing. Okay, so to my community, those that are following me, you did not get over 200 pounds by not having an eating disorder or eating problem, more than likely, unless you had some kind of health, I guess, inner health issue. But more than likely, you don't even know when you're hungry or when it feels like you're hungry, and habits have come along and caused your brain to just cycle and snack all the time. Okay, so priming is going to help you in carnivore. So to start up, you eat beef, butter, bacon, and eggs every meal. Every time you think you're hungry, you have a sugar craving, and you eat till you are comfortably stuffed. Priming is all about learning preparation and preparing your body to go into a meat or fat adapted life with meat and animal byproducts. So the more you do this is a total elimination diet, of course. Carnivore is all about eliminating everything else and starting to hear the triggers of your own body. Not Atkins telling you when you've had enough, when the package is empty, and not Weight Watchers telling you when you've hit your points, you have to be full for the day. But this is you listening to your body that God gave you and hearing what it has to say to you. And sometimes even the brain signals need a reset that says, that starts to learn. Like whenever I began to fall short. I was 1 month carnivore, man, and had lost, I lost 13 pounds total. And y'all, I just relapsed on sugar like a couple times in one weekend. And you know what? The sugar cravings got so bad. But I had not heard anything about priming. I didn't know about priming at all. I didn't know that you needed to begin this journey with priming in mind, like where you just eat until you're comfortably stuffed. And every time you have a carb craving, I didn't realize that it was my body. It was signals being sent to my brain, and my brain responding with what it'd been used to. Carbs, get quick energy, get it right now. You know, that's what was going on all this time. So that being said, that is, if you have been feeding your body quick carbs like me and eating junk for so long that as soon as it thinks it's going to get something to eat, you're shoving potato chips and not always potato chips. Y'all listen, I have been keto back and forth for 6 months. Okay. And I say back and forth because a carb relapse always happens. Sugar relapse always happens. And you can't get discouraged because it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And just like, if I can speak to you from a faith base, just like in your relationship with God, when you were first, you thought you had to get you right and then come to God. It don't work that way. You don't get good and then get God. You get God and He cleans you up. He makes you good. We're the fisher of men, but He's the cleaner, right? So He's the one that makes us clean. He's the one that gets us straight. He's the one that helps us to grow. But how can you grow if you give up? So every time that you have a trip up, I'm talking to a big brother or a big sister out there like me that has struggled. It took so many years to get you where you are, right? It took so many years to have you in the place you sit right now. It took so many years of trauma. Let's be real. It took so many years of trauma. And it's going to take a long time also to walk back towards the the goal that you're trying to reach for yourself. So just give yourself grace, give yourself time. You are in a redeemed state now, right? I mean, you're redeemed state being you're not in the household you were in then. You're not in the situation you were in then. You're not with the family that you were with then. And so you're redeemed from that situation into the life you are now. And now it's time to get, same with this lifestyle. You have to become fat adapted. Fat adapted, one sign you're fat adapted is you're peeing all the time. But you fat adapted, a lot of times by the time we're fat adapted, we're in ketosis, right? And this is not a keto diet. It's a turned up to 10 keto diet, really. It's a strict keto diet. It's for my friends that work from home, that sit at the desk and don't get a lot of sedentary lifestyle, little movement, okay? But don't give up, because COVID came and put a lot of us to work at home, to have a good job and to make a little more than what's in your area. You're working from home. I feel you. I'm with you. I'm right there. It's my life. But we don't have to give up just because we're there. Just because we work from home doesn't mean we don't deserve good health and good choices and, a great mentality. So in order to keep that, sugar has to be expelled. If you're any type of human, like Dr. Barry says on YouTube, he says, if you're Homo sapien sapien. So any human, he doesn't call it carnivore anymore. He calls it, as you guys know, it's the proper human diet. And it is for a reason, because every human, every mammal, every human that's a mammal, we are called to eat meat. And we get plenty of vitamin A, plenty of other vitamins, and meat is so nutrient dense. It would change how your bowels move. It will change how your brain operates. It will change, and you will get energy to where you feel like superhuman. And you'll be like, how could I do that? How do I feel this good and I'm still this big? Because in the beginning, there's so much in my life that's been pounded into my head about being so overweight, but it's nobody taking your hand and guiding you and showing you really how. This is how your body is created and made to lose. And when I begin to pray and I begin to ask God, Lord, you guide me. You made this body. Show me how to get this weight off. When I began that in life, to ask that question, this came. This came up out of nowhere. It began to highlight itself. So don't give up, hang in there. And even if you have a carb fall, even if you relapse into sugar, just do it again. Just get up and do it again. Ask anybody who's been through these recovery systems with drugs and alcohol. Cocaine is one of the hardest, cocaine and meth are the hardest drugs to get off of, they say. Sugar is harder. Sugar is even harder to get off of than cocaine. So you are doing amazing. If you're 24 hours in this, you're doing amazing. If you're 24 hours reset in this and you just fell last night, you're doing amazing. Just keep going.